Wembanyama from the outside. Ball in his hands are locked. To the basket. Timeout, Minnesota. And the veteran eighth-year man, Reed, is in. Wemby putting the moves on Gobert, has 11. Start.
The pick and roll. Victor Wembanyama putting on a show.
February 2025, San Antonio, the clock is running, the crowd is loud. Devin Booker gets the ball at the elbow, one of the best scorers in the entire league. He Euro steps left, he goes up, clean shot, perfect form. He's made this exact move 10,000 times. And then it happens. A hand comes from somewhere that makes zero sense. Not from behind him, not from the side, from above. Victor Wembanyama, standing 6 feet away, just reaches into Booker's shot and kills it. No jump, no lunge, just a lazy arm extension from a human being whose body should not be able to do that. The arena goes dead quiet for a full second, not because it was a bad shot, because nobody could explain what they just saw. So here's the question, the one every coach, every player, and every analyst in the league is quietly asking themselves right now. Is Victor Wembanyama even playing the same sport as everyone else? Drop a comment. When did you first realize Wemby was different? Every generation, the NBA gets a giant. Shaq was a tank, 400 pounds of pure muscle. He didn't play basketball. He collapsed the floor around him. Yao Ming was 7'6" of surgical skill. Kristaps Porzingis was the so-called unicorn, a 7-footer who could shoot threes and block shots in the same play. We thought we had seen everything. Then Wembanyama walked in and broke the whole template. He's 7 feet 4 inches tall. His wingspan is 8 feet. When he stands with his arms stretched out, he is wider than most people are tall. His hands alone are almost 12 inches long. But here's the thing, every giant before him came with a catch. Shaq couldn't guard a smaller, faster player in open space. Yao Ming couldn't move sideways fast enough. Every massive body in NBA history had a trade-off. You get the size, you give up the mobility. That was the rule, an unwritten law of basketball physics. Wembanyama broke that law. Watch him run in transition. He doesn't lumber, he doesn't plod, he glides. Long, smooth steps that eat up the court faster than guards moving twice as fast. Watch him slip a screen. That's not a center moving. That's a point guard's footwork inside a skyscraper's body. His post moves are stolen from a wing player's handbook. His pull-up jumper is textbook shooting guard. He can catch a pass at the three-point line, take 2 dribbles, and finish at the rim before the center guarding him even realizes what happened. And the most terrifying part? He's still learning, still getting better, still being updated. This is not the finished product. This is a video game character with every stat maxed out. And the developers are still patching in new abilities. To understand what Wembanyama does on defense, you need to understand one simple concept: space. Every offense in basketball is built around using space. You drive into the lane to pull the defense in, then kick it out to an open shooter. You set screens to create gaps. You attack the rim to draw fouls. The whole game is basically a math problem. Find the open angle, take the shot. Wembanyama erases the math. When he plants himself in the paint, the entire calculation changes for every player on the floor, not just the ball handler. Every single player. His wingspan covers a zone that should require 2 defenders to protect. When he raises his arms, the shooting window, that gap between the defender's fingertips and the top of the backboard, just closes. Shots that were open are suddenly not open anymore. The geometry of the game changes. This is what people are starting to call the Wemby effect, and it's real. Players aren't just missing shots around him. They're deciding not to take them. They're pulling up early. They're passing the ball back out. They're making scared decisions, not because of the defense that's actually there, but because of the defense that could arrive at any second. His blocks and steals combined, what analysts call his stocks, consistently put him among the best defensive players in the entire sport. But the raw numbers don't even tell the full story. You can't count the shots that were never taken. You can't measure the hesitation that added a half second to a ball handler's mind and blew up a whole play. He doesn't just block your shot, he taxes you for even thinking about it. Offenses aren't just struggling against him, they're being psychologically broken by him. What do you think is scarier, his offense or his defense? Tell us in the comments. In the 2024 to 2025 season, Wembanyama posted numbers that made every analytics team in the league do a double take. Points in the high 20s, rebounds in double digits, assist numbers that proved his passing wasn't a fluke, league-leading blocks, steals that ranked him among the best guards in the sport. while still being the tallest player on the floor. He had multiple 5x5 games this season. That means 5 or more points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals in a single game. Most players never do that once in their entire career. Wembanyama has done it multiple times before his 21st birthday, and the scouting reports? They're failing in real time. Teams tried to force him left. He fixed his left hand. Teams put big physical bodies on him to slow him down. He started using his speed to beat them before they could make contact. Teams sagged off him to protect the rim. He proved his three-point shot was not a gimmick. It's a real, consistent weapon. The NBA's entire defensive playbook is built on one idea. Every player has a weakness, a lane you can funnel them into, a shot you can live with them taking, a matchup somewhere that gives you a chance. Wembanyama's scouting report is a document that keeps getting rewritten, and every new version says the same thing. There is no answer. There is only the hope that on some nights he's slightly less extraordinary than usual. Here's what nobody talks about enough. The scariest thing about Victor Wembanyama is not his height. It's not his wingspan. It's not his blocks, or his three-point shot, or his foot speed. It's what's going on inside his head. When he came into the NBA, the hype was unlike anything since LeBron James showed up as a teenager. Analysts lost their minds. Coaches ran out of words. The media called him generational, once-in-a-lifetime, transcendent. The word alien, usually just a casual compliment, became his permanent label. He heard all of it. He read all of it. And then he put it down and got to work. In press conferences, he talks about basketball with the calm of a 12-year veteran. Not fake calm, not performed humility, real quiet confidence. He breaks down defensive schemes. He talks about his own weaknesses honestly. He maps out what he wants to improve with the precision of a coach, not a 21-year-old still figuring out the league. The physical gifts will always grab the headlines, but physical gifts fade. Knees wear down, bodies break. What lasts is the mind that knows how to use them. Jordan had it, Kobe had it, LeBron had it, Tim Duncan had it, Wembanyama has it, and he has the body of a science fiction character to go with it. Here's the real question, the one the front offices don't want to say out loud. What do you do when there is no solution? Every dominant player in NBA history eventually met his match. Shaq met a faster, more athletic league that evolved around him. Jordan met the Pistons. And then, eventually, time. Every monster the sport ever produced was eventually contained. But containment requires finding a crack, a flaw in the system, something you can target and exploit until the threat becomes manageable. Victor Wembanyama, at 21 years old in year 2 of his career, does not appear to have a crack. Guard skills, center body, a three-point shot, a defensive presence that rewires how offenses think, passing vision, elite footwork, and a brain that processes the game at a speed that shouldn't be possible for someone who has played this long. He is, in every real sense, a glitch, not a mistake, not an error, a glitch, something that exists inside the system, but completely breaks the rules it was built on. The NBA has survived Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. It has survived every wave of dominance the sport has ever seen, but those legends arrived one at a time. Years, sometimes decades and apart. The league always had breathing room, space to adapt, time to rebuild around what was coming. Victor Wembanyama is already here, already doing this, and he could have 15 seasons left. The sport will not break, but it will never look the same again. Seriously, drop your prediction below. How many MVPs does Wemby win?